You know, as men and women grow older, we experience a decline in hormone activity, and hormones play a very important part in our lives, key roles in regulating continuous activity in our body, our brain. They are essential to maintaining health and energy. What do we do? What do we do to replenish our hormones? Well, there is an amazing alternative. It's called BHRT, which is bioidentical hormone replacement therapy. And today we're going to spend the whole half hour talking about BHRT. Today on the show, we're joined by Dr. Victor Bozzone of Doctors Care in Gulfport. Appreciate you having us, being on the show with us today.
Appreciate you having us.
Well, not only do we have Dr. Bozzone on here, very special guest all the way from Santa Rosa, California. You remember her as Chrissy from Three's Company, and also known as the most perfect, dazzling creature ever in the white vet in American Graffiti, the beautiful Suzanne Summers. How are you today? Good to have you with us on the show.
Thank you for having me. And it was a white T-bird.
White T-bird. Well, I said what? Did I say white vet?
Yes.
It was a T-bird. Well,
yeah.
It's been a while since I've seen the movie. But
Very important.
Got to get that. I know you drove Richard Dreyfuss crazy in that movie, so that was one of the important things.
Clearly.
Tell us if you would.
Clearly.
Tell us.
And he still is.
He does, huh? Tell us if you would, Suzanne. How did you get involved in BHRT?
I wanted to age better than what I was seeing around me. I looked at the paradigm of aging, and it was frail and decrepit, and bones that weren't holding people up, and brains that weren't firing, and then looking at people almost expecting that they're going to end up in nursing homes. And I thought there's got to be a better way. And so I had started feeling the symptoms of hormone decline. I call it the 7 dwarves of menopause. Itchy, bitchy, sleepy, sweaty, bloated, forgetful, and all dried up. And I had all of those little dwarves living in the house with me. And so I went from doctor to doctor, and nobody knew anything about bioidentical hormone replacement at that time. And finally I heard about an endocrinologist in Santa Barbara, California. I had my lab work done, because this is not haphazard. You have your lab work done, and then the qualified. You can't go to just any doctor. That's why Dr. Bozzone is so important, who you're going to talk to. A qualified doctor who understands, looking at lab work, where your deficiencies are, and it's essentially filling the tank. So by the time I got to Santa Barbara to this woman, I was feeling like a crazy person. And she said, "Don't worry, it's all going to be okay." And she said, "I can't give you everything that you need right off because you have drained out so low. You have virtually no progesterone left and very, very low estrogen." And I said, "Why can't you give me everything I need?" She said, "You can't, it took a long time to lose them." She said, "But we'll start dosing you up, and you'll call me with your symptoms. My leg itches, I'm sweaty, or I'm bloated, or those things that I was just mentioning." And then she kept changing my dose little by little until finally I hit the sweet spot, and I've never looked back. I feel perfect.
Well, you wrote a book called "I'm Too Young for This," and I guess that's where
Yes.
it kind of started from. Is if I'm too young to start feeling all of these symptoms. I've got a long way to go. I mean, I'm still a young, beautiful woman, and I mean, is there a particular age that women will start experiencing this more so than any others?
Younger and younger now, because of toxicity in the environment and in all the products that we're using. That's blunting hormone production. Stress is blunting hormone production. So where it once was women maybe 55 and maybe a little older than that, they would start draining out. Women are starting to drain out in their mid to late 30s now, and that's why I said I'm too young for this, because I think it couldn't possibly be happening to me yet. And any woman watching, what I want to say is, instead of resisting, like I'm too young to be doing something that's considered for old people, embrace it, because it will make you stay young longer and improve your quality of life and improve your health and improve your libido, and your hair will be better and your nails will be better. Your breasts will even be perkier. It's the greatest thing you can do for yourself. But the greatest thing is how healthy you are.
and that is the important thing there. And I want to bring Dr. Victor Bozzone in on this and talk about this a little bit. Now, You were in your 70s when you found out about BHRT, and you know, you were a world-class power lifter, a neurosurgeon, and this really changed your life.
Indeed it did. My experience really is much like Suzanne's. I had always been competitive in athletics, and I was at the time toward, I guess, the end of my career in powerlifting, and things were starting to go downhill with respect to energy levels and my ability to perform. And in fact, I stopped doing powerlifting just because of those reasons. And it was really a big bother to me. It was really starting to get me down. So I started really just reading about things, listening to people talk. And Suzanne's books were a great impression upon me, to be very frank with you. And finally, I started taking some coursework. And on the basis of coursework, I said to myself, I think this is what I need. So I actually started BHRT treatment, and within, to be very frank with you, 10 days, I had pellet insertions of testosterone. Within 10 days of pellet insertion, my energy levels were going sky high. I just couldn't believe it. And it's, as Suzanne said, I've never looked back, and it's been all just great since that time.
Well, just reading here, you know, some of the items you mentioned, the pellets, creams, lozenges, and a lot of different areas that you specialize in regarding, you know, things that happen to do with and things that our hormones affect the older that we get. I mean, stress, sleep deprivation, different things like that. And as she mentioned, libido.
Oh yes, yes, absolutely. All the things which Suzanne has mentioned are definitely affected by it. And once you get on BHRT and experience the reversal of all the things that have been starting to drag you down, it's like enlightenment, to be very frank with you. You just can't get over it, and you'll never, never go back.
And you're definitely not too young for this.
And don't you feel like me? I want to shout it from the rooftops to everybody of, you can age a different way. You can have a quality of life you never believed possible. Age becomes a number, and I don't think people should say, how old are you anymore? I think people should say, how young is your energy? And those of us who are on bioidentical hormones, we have youthful energy, and
well, we can look at you. We can look at you and see just, you know, the bright energy and everything. We're going to take a quick break, Suzanne, and come back and talk to you about how women can benefit from the bioidentical hormone treatment therapy. So we'll be right back.